Brand new permission today, and I'm only here because I am super stoked about this spot. I'd rather be in the river. I just got here and I've already found an oyster shell, and you know what that means? That means that this is probably an old place, and this is an old shell. It's not like something the farmer just threw out. So kind of small though. Normally these old houses, the oysters are really big. But anyway, we're going to hunt here for a while. I'd rather be in the river. In fact, I'll probably go in the river this afternoon when it starts to get real hot, because there's not too many days at river hunting, but I could not pass up this place. It's just a fantastic permission, I hope. Let's get to it. It's already starting to rain. I've been hunting for about 10 minutes, kind of circling around, trying to find the concentration of iron, and I'm just finding scattered iron. Just found a giant horseshoe. Isn't that thing awesome? It's got a lot of nails in it, so that leads me to believe that the horse might have actually died here, and this was still on its hoof. So I would think that a lot of those would have pulled out when he was to lose it. So haven't found anything that's not made of iron yet. I might have to hide under one of these cedar trees. There's a storm coming in. Hi. That's honeysuckle, by the way. Smells really good. Well, I tell you, this place is absolutely brutal. Lots of iron, not many good sound. I mean, I haven't had a single good non-ferrous signal yet until right now. And it's out of the hole. I don't know what it is. We'll look at it together. But check this ground out. It's like nothing but rocks. It's really, really hard to dig. But yeah, there's a signal right in here. Let me pop my headphone up for you. And sounds pretty good. I mean, right in there. Not very big. It could be a little button or a fired modern bullet. I'm hoping it's a button. All right, so my hand. Feels like lead, whatever it is, something heavy in there. It's in there. Not that. All right, that's it right there. Okay, so this is a chunk of melted lead. Okay, I'll put that in a bag. Let me show you one other thing. There's coal here too, look at that. I think that's coal. Yeah, I believe that's coal. Anyway, check this tree out right here. You know what this is? This is a mulberry tree. A black mulberry tree, because you can see the berries are actually black. And they're delicious. Mulberries are absolutely delicious. You got to pick them when they're full color. Still got a little bit of red on them. They're okay, but they're not real sweet. But they make tremendous fishing bait too. If you get a mulberry tree that hangs over a river, when they drop, I mean, everything eats mulberries. Neat story about mulberries. Don't quote me on this, but I think I'm right. That these were actually imported. So the stink bug on that one. Get off there. Actually imported from China back in the colonial days for silk production, because silkworms eat, I guess they eat mulberry leaves, and they were trying to make an industry here in the United States to make silk. It didn't work, I guess, but they're delicious. These are, like I said, these are the black mulberries. You have trees that have white mulberries on them, and they are the sweetest. They're almost sickly sweet, but they're absolutely delicious. I don't really see any pottery or anything at all on this site. Just a little bit of coal and lots of iron. It looks like old iron. All right, see if we can find something good. I'm starting to get a little bit discouraged. I mean, there's a lot of iron here. I'm seeing oyster shells, no pottery. You know, finding things like these little buckles and stuff. So, I mean, that's a really good sign. But there's just not much in the way of non-ferrous signals. So I suspect that this has been dug. Not 100%. Haven't seen anything on any logs or rocks or anything. But just for the amount of iron I'm hearing, there should be more stuff here. Even if it's just buttons or pieces of spoons or stuff like that. Well, here's my first piece of pottery. Okay, you know what they say. Pottery does not roll uphill. So this came from that way. It rolled downhill. So we need to go up on that hill right there. That's where I found the pottery right there. And looky here, it's a piece of oyster shell. Same thing. That came from up in here somewhere. So we're going to go up on this hill and look around. Maybe that's where the house is. I hope. There's enough iron in here for this to be a home site easy, but just not getting any good squeaks. Well, maybe that one. Listen to it all though. This might be a good spot after all. Not seeing any pottery though. Or bricks. Alright. That was a really good move following that pottery that we found. I just dug a hole, you know, a target. It was actually a big piece of iron, but boy, I tell you, it looks good. This is the iron that I found. And if you look at it, there's like all kinds of pieces of like charcoal and brick on there. So I think we're right pretty much at the foundation of the house probably. If you look in the hole, there's some brick here. And I saw some pottery too, but I kind of lost sight of it. It was blue stuff, blue china like stuff, and it's you know, pretty good, pretty high quality china. But anyway, look at this little tree right here. I wanted to show you this too. This is called a Trifoliate Orange, and if you notice, it's got thorns on it. And this is an import too. I think this is from Korea. Could be wrong on the Korea part, but I think that's where it's from. And they used to plant it for like hedges and stuff because animals wouldn't go through there, and it makes a really thick hedge. But it's also a beautiful, beautiful tree. Call it a Trifoliate Orange because it has these little oranges on it. And they grow here in Maryland, in West Virginia, in Virginia, you know, pretty much anywhere. They're very hardy for the cold. And in the fall, they get covered with these little oranges, and they're really beautiful, and they're all over it, and the oranges stay on it for a long time. I don't know if you can eat them. Maybe you can make jam. I'm not sure, but I actually have a bunch of those planted all over my place because it's such pretty, pretty plants. All right, I think we're going to be on it now. Might have to dig a few more pieces of iron. Anything that big, I'm definitely going to dig because it could be a cannonball or something. But I think we're going to start finding coins now. Coins and buttons. Still not finding anything good. I'm just digging some holes, and I think there was definitely a house here. Here's one nail that I found. That's a flooring nail, I believe. But the artifact layer is quite deep. It's full of brick and charcoal, and that's it. A few nails. This place had to have been haunted. There's no way there'd be this many targets in here and not a good button or two. I mean, we'll find a couple, no doubt, but if this had been unhunted, we should have like a handful of coins by now, in my experience anyway. Oh, raining. It's hot. Yeah, that's not rain, by the way. We have to get it down in the river. If we don't start finding stuff pretty quick, I think I'm going to go ahead and split, and we'll hit the river for a while today. Yeah. So I have this hole going here, and I heard a good squeak. That's why I dug the hole, but I'm just finding a lot of nails, bent nails like that. But I think there is a good squeak, and it's out of the hole. We're going to look at it together. Sounds like it's small, though, so it's probably not like a large cent. But it's in this grass right here somewhere. Yeah, sounds pretty small. A little buttoners. Ah, there it is right there. Maybe. Yeah, lead. Melted lead, I think. It's definitely lead. Pretty sure it's melted, but I'm not 100% on that. But that's what I was hearing. But yeah, I got like 4 or 5 nails out of that hole. Not exactly what going to get me in the American Digger magazine, but that's hopeful. That's a pewter handle to a spoon. These would date to the 1700s, possibly early 1800s. Well, I found my first, well, complete artifact. This is a musket ball. Probably too small for the Civil War era, but at least it's something. That was kind of an unrewarding hunt. I think it was a good lead, and maybe there was stuff here at one time, although I kind of doubt it really, because although I didn't take any video, I did find a lot of rifle casings that were buried, and if anyone had been digging here, they would have dug those too. So I think there was a house here. You know, you saw the oyster shells and the pottery and the nails and the big chunks of iron, but maybe they just didn't have any money. You know, they weren't rich people. That's the only thing I can figure. Might come back sometime, but I kind of doubt it. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the boat unloaded and hit the water for the rest of the day, and maybe we can finish out this video with that, or I'll start a fresh one, or I'll just throw the camera away. I'm not sure what to do today. We'll see on the next one, if there is one. You are my lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your